Hey guys, this is James from Man Tripping. We're here with Jason Chinnock. He's the CEO of Ducati North America, and we're at the NDAS in San Diego, and we're going to be talking a little bit about some of the new stuff you guys are showing off as part of the More Than Red Tour, right?
Yes, sir.
So why Ducati, and why should we be excited about what you guys have tonight?
Well, Ducati is style, sophistication, and performance, and for any motorcyclist that's looking for something like that, we have the best offering that's out there. I mean, it's also just more than a motorcycle; it's a brand, and I think that's something that's really relevant. There's a lot of great products that are out there, but we give you something more than just the machine. And in fact, when you think about it, motorcycling is not transportation. You know, it's entertainment.
It's a passion. They can talk about it a little bit.
Exactly. And you think about us being on top of the Andes tonight and having some of our top customers here, some prospects, people that are excited about seeing the new product. This is something that a brand can do. And for us to be able to give them this experience and to get personal with them in a little bit of an intimate environment is something that is different with Ducati than, let's say, someone that's just interested in selling a motorcycle.
Cool. And you're in the middle of a tour. You talked about you're down in Phoenix and some other cities. Where are you guys going next, and where can people meet up with you?
Well, yeah, so we're in the midst of a 12-city tour right now, and why we did this is because the motorcycle show circuit has changed, and we realized that we're missing the opportunity to talk to a lot of these important cities, like San Diego, Phoenix, and Houston. So this is why we're here. We're here to be able to talk to them and connect with people directly. But following San Diego, we're going to make our way to San Francisco, and then the final date of the tour is going to be Seattle. And Seattle will end up, I think it's Saturday night, the 9th or the 10th. I'm going to be in Italy next week, and I'm flying back just to make sure I'm in time for Seattle.
That's all you rack up the frequent flyer miles, I guess.
That I do, for sure.
So they can find the exact location and how to RSVP on your website?
Actually, no. You have to go directly to the Ducati dealer and express to them your interest in it, and the dealer will register you, because this is something that we want to make sure that the dealer is part of the experience as well. And that's something that's different for us as well. Our dealers are a clubhouse. They're an extension of the brand. We want to make sure that when they leave this event that they have a place to hang out when Ducati rolls out of town, and that's our local dealer.
Yeah, that was one of the cool things. I go to a lot of travel events and stuff like that, and it's a lot of people just showing up for a free drink. Yeah. But the guys in line today who are really passionate, bikers and Ducati fans. So
yeah, you can see them carrying their helmets in and the gear and branded with Ducati shirts, and and you see this. You see the twinkle in their eyes. They're getting ready to see something that very few people have seen in person.
So with that being said, that's a great segue. What are they going to see tonight?
Well, tonight we actually are showcasing our entire model year 2018 lineup. And this is something that Ducati, we've really made it a point over the last few years to expand our product portfolio, because a lot of people love the brand, but they never thought that we made a motorcycle that was accessible to them. So we have the new Monster 821, which is a great bike for people that are newer riders, but we've basically taken the Monster and brought it back to kind of its natural, compact, essential sport street motorcycle. We have the new Multistrada 1260, which has a new engine in it that actually delivers an incredible amount of torque, and it's a nice long-distance traveling touring bike. The X Diablo, which is our answer to the cruiser world. Foot-forward controls, nice upright ergonomics, riding position, and an incredible off-the-line acceleration. And then we have two stars of the show of brand new bikes, and that's the Scrambler 1100, and tonight we have the Scrambler 1100 Sport, which this Scrambler 1100 has been part of this part of the movement that we've brought back with kind of a nod to a classic bike but with modern technology. And this has traction control, ride-by-wire, ABS, those things that give you performance but also comfort and safety. And then the top of the line we have our new V4 Panigale. And this is actually a motorcycle. We're known for our super bikes. It's the first production V4 motorcycle that we brought to market. And it's an important chapter, a moment in our history, because we've been known for twin-cylinder motorcycles since the mid-70s, really.
That's the one over there with the green screen. That's a lot of people riding, right?
Oh no, that's the 959 Panigale.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. That's its predecessor. That's the twin. Okay. It's the one that's under the black covers that you haven't seen yet.
Gotcha.
So, and this motorcycle delivers 214 horsepower, naturally aspirated V4 with technology that we've taken directly from MotoGP and transferred into this motorcycle. We're the only manufacturer that can confidently say that what we have learned from what we've learned in MotoGP, we've taken directly into the bike that people can now ride on the street.
So what's the top speed on something like that? Is that something that you need some special training to get into, I'd imagine?
Yeah, in fact, top speed, that's a good question, because in most cases, people are concerned about what the top speed is. They want to know how fast they can go around the track. Right. And so my guess is you're going to find yourself in excess of 200 miles an hour on the motorcycle without a doubt. I mean, when you've got that much power, to give you an idea, the power to weight ratio is the equivalent of having a Formula One car that you can actually have street legal. So that's it's incredible. That sort of power to weight that we get down to the ground on this bike.
And the price point on that one is?
It's around $21,500.
So pretty affordable then.
Very affordable, very approachable. And something that we've done over the last few years is that we also understand as motorcyclists, especially Ducati motorcyclists, you're always looking for the next thing. And so we've come out with programs, we call it Ducati Premier, that it's similar to a leasing program where actually you just pay for how you're using it. And so you have a monthly payment, and then you find yourself in 3 years and the next model comes out, you can trade it in and find yourself on the next greatest generation
like
of superbike. Exactly, like your cell phone or even a car these days.
That's awesome. Now, one of the things I'm personally excited about, you talked a little bit earlier about the fact that I love off-road stuff, but fortunately I'm finding there's canyons and ravines that are just either too steep or too narrow to go in there with my Jeep. You have an awesome car, awesome bike that I saw a little bit of earlier, and you're telling me that not only are you bringing it and upgrading it for 2018, but you guys are actually bringing a school so you can learn how to really use it in the US, right?
Yes, exactly. That is the Ducati Multistrada Enduro Pro. And this motorcycle, it's, in my opinion, obviously I'm a little bit biased, but it's the most capable globe-trotting dual sport motorcycle in terms of something that can really travel around the world, but then also when you take it off-road, the handling is incredible. And this is the bike that, yeah, you take down to Baja, you go find that canyon that you can't take your Jeep through, you get lost with it only to find yourself. It's one of those things that motorcycles helps you do, but what we found is a lot of people like these SUVs that you can take off-road. They never really get a chance to take them off-road. And so we're bringing the Ducati riding experience, the Enduro riding experience to North America for the first time ever. And we're going to have a mix of Italian and American instructors, including people that have raced Paris-Dakar, people that have raced Baja, to help teach people how to properly ride this bike so that when they find themselves going down to Mexico or they're running through the Rockies, that they really get to use the motorcycle for its purpose, for its intended use.
So where are you going to be hosting that?
The plan right now, we're looking at a couple different places. I could say the Rocky Mountains is probably the best this final description I can give you.
So you're going high up in the mountains as opposed to low in the desert?
Exactly, because part of that experience will not only be the training of learning how to ride, but we have to mix a little bit of adventure into it as well.
I love the desert. That's why I would love to be able to take those things. You know, like I'm going to Mojave in a couple weeks, and we're just going to go and tear up some sand.
Well, you would love some of the things that we do in Mexico. We do this event called Del Mar al Cielo, which is from the sea to the heavens. And the idea is in Mexico, you have these amazing beaches and some of the highest mountains. And we take a group of enthusiasts and we take them on a one-day adventure journey through that. In fact, last year we went from Veracruz, Mexico to the top of the highest mountain pass and mountain road in North America at 15,500 feet. And we had our clients up there with oxygen tanks so that when they got up to the top, you know, we didn't have anybody pass out, served them a great meal, and then rode back down into Puebla for the next day for a nice day. You can say
that between the Ducati and the view, it literally took their breath away.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Then that's an official Ducati tour then, or?
Yeah, it's an event, you know, and this is something that as a brand, it's important that we do is we find a way to get together with our customers and enjoy the motorcycles, whether they be at the track, whether they be we have an event later this year where we're going to take people from the greater Los Angeles area up to Monterey to celebrate the 25th anniversary of the Ducati Monster. And these are the sorts of things that we like to do with our clients because, you know, when you have a busy schedule and you're looking for time to hang out with like-minded enthusiasts, that we create those events to be able to do that.
That's very cool. So now, with that all being said, what are you riding?
Oh, I actually have a couple motorcycles. You know, being the CEO, I have the advantage of the fleet.
Yes,
so I have access to my press fleet, but I have two motorcycles myself that I kind of had to own. One of them is the Multistrada 1200S Pikes Peak, And part of that is because the Multistrada, the Pikes Peak was my project, the racing project that we did where we set the record on the mountain. We have, I think it's now 5 or 6 records. We had it beat last year, which means that, you know, if somebody beats your record, now you might have to come back. Yeah. So, but that bike meant so much to me because of that experience that I had. And it's one of those last races in the world that are left where you watch people fly up that mountain at those speeds and you realize that it's not sane. Like, people shouldn't be doing this, but that's what makes it so compelling. And the other one is the Scrambler Desert Sled. I grew up in actually Las Vegas, Nevada, riding dirt bikes across the desert. And when we brought out that desert sled, I knew exactly what that was for. And so I bought one because I wanted to ride it to within an inch of its life and not be afraid of dropping it and really get the full exposure and enjoyment out of the motorcycle.
That's super cool. And then, the second to last question, but what is your dream trip? Like, you've already done some amazing trips, it sounds like, so it's probably hard to say, like, you know, what is left, but what's left? What do you want to do?
Oh, you know, it's every motorcyclist has this bucket list of like the different trips that they want to do. And to your point, you're right. I've been very fortunate. I did one last year where my father and I, who just learned to ride, went through the Alps, the Italian, Swiss, French, German Alps. So that was incredible. Next year, actually this year, him and I are going to ride through UK and go up into Scotland, or go through Wales and Scotland, and possibly cross over to Ireland and just get lost. And to me, that adventure, that idea of getting lost on some open road and finding a little pub for a quick lunch and not knowing where you're going to stay that night, to me, that adventure is exciting. So that's the next on my list.
Let's get castles and falconry and distilleries after you're done riding.
Yeah, exactly. The higher we get up to Scotland, I think that the slower we might become. But that's all right. Yeah, that's part of the adventure.
And then the last question, like, you know, I told you earlier, I put out a questionnaire to some of my fans and some of my readers. So, what do you guys want me to ask them? And overwhelmingly, the biggest question they want to ask is, are you guys working on an electric bike? And what kind of technology are you guys bringing to the marketplace that maybe hasn't been seen yet?
Well, Ducati, as we said before, is that style, sophistication, performance. We're always pushing the envelope, and we're not limiting ourselves by our heritage necessarily. We are always trying to find the best way to get the best performance out of what we build. But also, when you ride a Ducati motorcycle, there's an experience that you get that's unlike anything else, and it's very distinctive. In fact, every one of our motorcycles have a similar characteristic, whether you're from the entry-level Monster 797 all the way up to something like the new V4 Panigale. You have that same emotional connection to the bike. And our team of engineers are always pushing the envelope. They're always looking for new technologies to be able to deliver these experiences. And at this point, I'm confident that we are looking into those areas. But until we're confident that we can deliver an experience that's worthy of the Ducati badge on the side, I can't say when that's going to happen. So, fair enough. But that being said, you know, you always see that there's no sacred cows with our company. We've been a twin-engine motorcycle company for many, many years, and here the V4 is out. And for us, that is a really important piece of history.
Excellent. I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a great day.